Hello everyone, how you guys doing today? So I'm here to talk about Holochain, right? I'm here to tell you exactly why you probably should sort of kind of invest in Holochain. Now, mind you guys, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional in any kind of way investor. I'm just a regular guy that's just trying to put his money in the right place so that he can make some money, be able to purchase a house, and all that other good stuff. So here's the thing. Let's talk about Holochain just for a little bit. And for any of you guys who know who I am, you probably know I'm going to go off on some tangents. But I'm going to try to stay on topic here. So, number one, the main reason, how did I find out what or who Holochain was? Well, I looked at a lot of top projects back in the day. This was about a good year ago. And I was like, well, what are some good projects? I really would like to invest in some projects. At the time, well, back in the day, Nucleus Vision had totally just went. I sold it when it was going down. That's one thing about me is I'm selling. I'm selling. If it ain't working out, if it's not going to do me any good, I'm getting rid of it and I'm going to something else. So, but anyway, I had got rid of Nucleus Vision because I'm like they don't. But anyway, this is not about them. This is about Holochain. So what happened was you learn from your mistakes, right? So I didn't do the proper research that I probably should have done with previous altcoins that I had invested in. So I'm like, all right, I am tired of all of these people coming up with all of these promises and they're not doing anything in the background. There's no communication, like everything else in between. I'm like, I can't do this. I need some new tech that's going to be coming out, that's going to roll out, and that's going to make me money. Even if it's only used just for a little bit, I can still get a piece of that pie when it takes off. So I looked at a couple of factors. The first thing I did was I looked at like, what are the top projects? So I kind of, I do my own research. So I kind of Google like top projects and interesting projects and things like that. And I ended up finding Holochain. Well, I looked up Holochain, and as you can imagine, I was all on YouTube. I was all on there. Now, at the time, Holochain was actually more popular than what it is right now. A lot of people kind of sort of giving up on Holochain because of the price. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't do that with my projects. I kind of look more into the background. It's not necessarily the price. It's more of the fact that what are you doing in the background? Are you communicating with people? Is your tech, are you making steady progress? So that's what I like to see. I like to see steady progress. So anyway, I stumbled upon Holochain, and it was like, it's not blockchain. I'm like, whoa. How is it a cryptocurrency, not blockchain? Like I don't understand. Like I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. So obviously for like a good long time, because I mentioned this before, I watched almost every single video on Holochain. They all said the same thing, and I still couldn't understand it. That's how great the tech is. I shouldn't say great. That's how confusing the tech is. And it's probably confusing to a lot of people. So what I did was, I was like, okay, I'm gonna break this down, and I had to listen to the video slowly. I had to understand it a little bit more. And to be honest with you, I'm a huge gamer, but I'm not a huge tech guy when it comes to computers and all the little lingo that goes on there. I'm a huge gamer. I love tech. I love using tech, and I know how to operate tech. But as far as building tech and being an engineer, yeah, you can miss me with that. So anyway, the point is that I was looking for a project that was that was something new, right? So I'm like, what is the new Bitcoin, right? Because I remember, unlike some of you guys or a lot of people that are just coming into the cryptocurrency space, I had an opportunity to purchase Bitcoin long time ago, $25 or less. I did not because at the time I was married. I'm not gonna get into it, but I was actually restrained from doing it because people thought it was a scam and everything else in between. With me personally, I like to look at exactly the background, the tech, everything else in between, and be educated on exactly what a blockchain was, what Bitcoin was. And then as the years gone by, I saw it go from like 25 cents to $25 to $700. And I'm like, I should have invested, right? And then obviously, when you don't have the money or you don't have the income to continue to invest hardly anything, then obviously there's only so much you can do. So Here's some of the reasons why I feel that Holochain is the greatest project in the cryptocurrency space. Okay, number one, and I'm gonna say this as an investor. Number one, it is cheap. Okay, someone mentioned in my comments before how cheap it was, and I totally agree. It is cheap. So even if you put, I don't know, $100, couple $100 in, you can still come out on top later on. And then if it don't work out, well, you know what? That's like Big Macs for an entire year. So, you know, you don't eat Big Macs for an entire year. You know, you just have to sacrifice. So, but I'm talking as a broke person, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That's life. You have to do what you can. So anyway, the point is, it's real cheap right now. So the point, if you're able to invest in something, right? I had missed out on Bitcoin, and I saw the amount of money I could have been a Bitcoin millionaire, right? Well, what happened was a tech. It was the first one of its kind. It was the first one to come out, and everybody was like, and obviously it was great, and everything else in between. And we have things that are faster than Bitcoin and everything. But the thing about it is that it's stable. It's not stable, but it has a finite amount. So obviously it has gone up over time. And like in 10 years. So if you're a person and you're invested in, let's say you want to invest in something that's like the future, it's not Bitcoin, but it's something, the next level, right? So I kind of see Holochain as like the next level. And while a lot of people are not paying attention to this whatsoever, not that I want to keep it that way, but I kind of want to keep it cheap, and you know, maybe I'll roll up on a couple $1,000s or something like that, and I'd be like, I'm throwing it all in. No, I'm not going to throw it all in the hot token, but I'll probably throw a fair amount in a hot token, and then I'll just wait, and you know, dollar cost average, and I'll just let it go on. So right now, it is cheap. And that's that's the best thing about it. So even right now, because there's a bull run going on right now, even right now with the bull run, you can still make a fair amount of money just by investing right now and waiting for a long time. Because I promise you, you guys ain't seen nothing yet. This whatever this bull run is, it's like a skip. You know, and then it's like you skipping 100 yards, but then you realize Usain Bolt is like on the next to you, and then he like just runs right past you, because then you understand like, oh, that's what a bull run is. So a real full blown bull run, that's what like it just gonna cap out. It's gonna be crazy. So right now it is cheap. Right now a lot of people don't understand, don't know about it, and I kind of like that, because of the fact that what you have to understand is the better the tech, the less someone what's the word? The less chances is anyways, there's not a great chance that a lot of people are going to invest in it. And the reason being is because of the fact that people are cautious, right? Everything's a scam. Bitcoin's a scam, right? You see, like everything's a scam. That's how it is. When you actually educate yourself and do your own research, because I expect half of you guys to be like, what is this guy talking about? And go on and do your own research and look at all the Holochain videos, and then talk about hot token and hollow fuel and everything else in between. And then you'll be like, okay, now I get it. And so now you'll be more fundamentally impressed with the project because of the fact that you actually do understand it. Okay, so that's number one. It's cheap, you know. Hey, less of a risk unless you're trying to go all out and roll the dice. You know, I love the game craps, but let me tell you something. You roll that 7, you put everything in there, and you roll that 7 or 11, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? But hey, anything else? Yeah, look, your chances are very slim for survival. So the point is that if you invest now, you're playing with house money, you're good to go. It's gonna grow over time. Okay, let's go with number 2. The other reason why I invested in the hot token was not only because of its technology or because it was cheap, but because of the fact that I saw the technological part of it. Not because it was cheap, but because of the technology. So I say, okay, it's cheap technology. Now, where can it go, right? So the point is that right now a lot of these tokens aren't being used. You look up on like the top 100 tokens and the 200 tokens, 300, 400, 500. They're not being used. They have very low market caps. A lot of them, uh, uh, like the daily value was like, I don't know, like 13 million, 40 million. Holochain has been kind of like, well, the hot token, excuse me, has kind of been like between like, I don't know, like 80 and 94 million. Like it's kind of been in between there for like a long period of time. But there has not been any kind of like the hot token is not even being used as the placeholder for hollow fuel. So what's going to happen when it's actually going to be used, or it's about to be used, and hot token will be used? There's a lot of confusion there. We're waiting a little bit more on some news on exactly how that's going to work out. I was, you guys can look at some of the previous videos, some of the comments. Some people made some great comments. If you guys have anything that you want to see or do, I like for you guys to do your own research. So that's the other thing. I'm going to cut in for a second because I am going to go on a little rabbit trail. But look here, I'm not posting a whole lot of links at the bottom unless it's something to do with like an article that's important or something like that. But as far as Holochain is concerned, I'm not doing any of that. I want you guys to do your own research. I want responsible people to come in here and look at the hot token and be like, oh, wow, like I really like that. Oh, wow, nah, that's too much of a risk for me. So you can make your own decisions of exactly what you're going to do. And then if and when, mostly probably when, we come out on top, those who invested early, we'll come back and we'll be able to say, all right, hey, I'm glad I did the research. I'm glad I invested in it, because you're going to have, there's going to be times to where people are going to be like, oh, that's a scam. Yeah. And so, we all know about Bitcoin. I talk to people about Bitcoin all the time. Oh, it's a scam. And China, at the time, China doesn't like cryptocurrency and all this kind of stuff. And everything. But I had all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, do you even know what it is? Have you ever done your research? No, I don't know, but don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. So anyway, if you don't do your research, I don't want you talking to me. And if I do research and I say something wrong or anything else in between, I would love for somebody to correct me, because I've actually done research. I actually looked up the project. I actually know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to argue with somebody who hasn't done their own research. It's like I'm not going to make this into much of a religious thing, but it's like people who say they're Christians and believe in the Bible and everything else in between. You don't even know what half the words in there say. You know what I'm saying? You haven't even studied it. You haven't even studied it. Like, this is something that your whole life is dedicated to, and you ain't even studied it. You just know a couple of words or a couple of sentences or a couple of Bible verses, and then you try to apply a couple of those things to your life, and you call yourself a Christian. Well, okay, great. I guess that's what it is. It's the same thing in the crypto space. We have people who call themselves crypto investors and everything else in between, but they get into these projects and but they don't even know themselves. They don't even do their own research, and they don't even tell other people to do their own research. So that's a problem. But anyway. Okay, rabbit trail over with. So technology, where can it go? The technology can go extremely far. If we have something to where right now we have attacks, 50% hacks or attacks and all this other good stuff, and it's all happening. What was it? Amazon, not Amazon Web Services, GoDaddy and stuff like that. When we have those and they're interrupted, that means when it's centralized like that, it's very likely that things can happen. Well, what happens when it's not like that, and it's instead of Amazon Web Services, now everybody or a lot of people have their own services? It's gonna be kind of hard to hack. It's like, yeah, and they talked about this earlier. So the technology is great. Now, if we look at from an investor point of view, and we look at how hollow fuel is going to be used, here's a couple of things that I noticed. We at least know for 6 months when hollow fuel comes out on the exchanges, we at least know that within 6 months, the hollow token is going to be used. So we know that it has to be used. We also know that hollow fuel has to be used. So now we're having two tokens, or two currencies, or the hot token is a cryptocurrency token. So you have a hollow hot token that's cryptocurrency token, and it has to be used. It absolutely has to be used. So I'm like, oh wow, I really like that. The fact that it has to be used. It's not like some of these tokens out here where it doesn't have to be used. People are just buying it because of hype and everything else in between. And it's like, okay, what are you going to do with it? All right, well, I don't have to use it. I don't have to use the BAT token, but I can easily I can have the use the not basic attention token. I forgot what their thing is. This is with the lion on it. I have it, their thing. But the point is that it's really great technology. It's gonna go up over time and everything like that. But you don't have to use it. With hollow fuel, you have to use it. It's not out yet. But with the hot token, you have to use it, because in order to get hollow fuel, in order to do the things that you're going to do, you're gonna have to purchase hot. So in the beginning. So again, like I said before, at least at the very, what we know right now, at least for 6 months, the hot token will be used once hollow fuel comes out, and it may be used even before then as well, as preparation before it comes out. Okay, reason number 3. Okay, we haven't been in a real bull run yet. So right now is the perfect opportunity to go ahead and jump in, because once that bull run happens, now you all got to have your exit strategy. You can all look that up, exit strategy. I know a lot of YouTubers are talking about it right now. Having a great exit strategy for after that bull run. So, oh man, what project? There was a project that went up 600 some percent, and like, oh man, what's it called? Something, 88 MP, that I don't know what it's called. But it's just one of those projects, and I don't even know what it is. I have to look it up. I just saw it this morning, but I'm like, man, it's 600% in like 2 days or something like that. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Where can you find gains like that? Only in the crypto space. And I tell you what, the greater the technology, the greater opportunity that it has to surpass or to go up higher quickly, especially when people start understanding exactly what it is. Could everybody imagine exactly what would happen if everybody understood Bitcoin? It was like, oh my God, like really? It's going to take off like in the moon. And that's exactly what's happening. It's starting to take off. Now, there'll be some dips and stuff like that, of course. It's going to go, but it's eventually going to go up. So anyway, going back, so the potential is there. So it's cheap. It has great technology, and then we'll have to go. I want to talk about something else, another reason why I continue to invest in the hot token, because of the fact that they have great communication skills. As far as now, they might not have great explanation skills, but they have communication skills of exactly what they're doing, what their roadmap is, and what they're trying to do to build onto that. So, and that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to see. I like to see progress over time. If I stop seeing progress, if I start, then 1 month, 2 months, that's a red flag. That's a serious red flag. Actually, 1 month not hearing anything of any kind of progress, that's a red flag already. And then you also have the other thing, and the last thing, actually, I have a couple more things, but I'm not only going to talk about one more main one that I want to talk about. It has something to do with the tech as well. But check this out. So these DeFi projects are like going off, right? For any of you that are not familiar, they're DeFi, these DeFi tokens and projects that they're going off. They're making a whole lot of money right now. It's going up. It went down, and now it's, people are starting to get interested in it again. But let me ask you something. How great would it be to have a decentralized internet as a whole? The whole entire internet is decentralized. Now, that is something that is not right now is centralized, right? For the most part, because you have web services here, and people can't compete against something that big. But unless you have something that's better tech, now you can compete against something that's that big. And not only that, but now you're talking about cloud hosting in space. And I'm not getting into all the tech of Holochain. You guys can look that up yourself. But now we're in competition and actually, it's not really a direct competition, but it's similar competition as to what people can do. And not only that, but again, I stated this in my one video about China having their blockchain services, is their blockchain services, the internet, something like that. But the point is that what they're doing is they're trying to centralize a lot of things and everything. China's already trying to get a hold of they're trying to get a hold of the money that's going to be made with cryptocurrencies and with blockchain. As a matter of fact, I think they just talked about this morning how they're actually encouraging banks to start doing, to start getting the cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Why, you might ask? Well, obviously, if banks are getting into cryptocurrency, then it's going to be easier to avoid sanctions from whatever country putting sanctions on them. We all know what country. But in a way, this is not about what country is good or what country is bad. I just want to talk about exactly what's going to happen, especially when it comes to the hot token. So anyway, going back to what I was talking about, was the technology is awesome. Just to be able to have something that's a decentralized internet, to make something a little bit more homey, as in having more communities within smaller areas. That's where we're getting to, which kind of sort of leads into what people talk about. What is it called? Where there's like like different little civilizations all over the place. I can't think of the technology. Not the technology. I can't think of the word right now. I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, the point is that wow, it's gonna kill me. The point is that we're gonna start having more communities start to be more autonomous. Like we're going to start having a smaller. The world is getting bigger, but it's going to start having the control is not going to be there. So the bigger something is, the more difficult it is to control. So the world is becoming more closer, the more unified. Well, the bigger you have that, okay, it's going to be more difficult to control, because that's the problem with the United States right now, is they're trying to control everything. They're trying to get taxes and all this other stuff. They don't even understand what it is. They don't understand all of the deep stuff, the new technology that's coming out. And what's going to happen is they're doing all of this, and they don't realize that they're losing control. It's mano de guava. It's like having a baby's hand. The baby's hand squeezes all the time, but when the baby's hand squeezes things tend to pop out. When you start squeezing stuff start to pop out. So you come in tighter, and things are just going to go out of control. That's exactly what's going to happen in the United States of America. I don't want it to be a bad thing, because this is my country. I love my country. I want it to be the best ever. But until our government stop trying to control everything, for the betterment of whatever their mission is, or whatever their goal is, then we're going to be okay. But unfortunately, they're not doing that, and taking out the middle class. I'm getting into political stuff. Anyway, the point is that so these are great reasons as to why you want to invest in Holochain. The other reason is because of communication. I see that they have a lot riding. They have a lot of programs and a lot of projects that's depending on Holochain to finish, because that's what they need. They need that sort of technology to move on. So I did a little bit of research. Again, you should do your own research on RedGrid and the people that they're doing, and you can see how passionate they are and why they actually chose Holochain and what they're trying to do. These are people who are developing projects for futuristic things, in which they feel, well, we worked on this and everything else in between, and we're gonna work with Holochain. So all of these intelligent people, especially people who are the technical guys and stuff like that, they love the Holochain technology. They love the fact that it's like super fast, and that's another thing. I'm not going to get into it, But obviously, the more people on Holochain, the faster it's going to be. Unlike a lot of like blockchain is compare. So one of the things you definitely should do your own research is compare Holochain and blockchain. I think there's a couple of videos. Matter of fact, I know there's a couple of videos. So I'm not going to post it down there and below. You're just going to have to do your own research. So I hate to have to do that to people, but me personally, I like to force people into doing things that they really don't want to do because it kind of forces you to be like, oh, okay, well, now I guess I got to do it now. Or you can just go and listen to somebody else on YouTube, and maybe they can explain it, or maybe they'll post it, have it posted at the bottom. But it's irresponsible for me to do anything of the sort. I'd rather for people to do things for themselves. Now, as far as information is concerned, obviously, I like to share information because now, number one, it's always good for us to communicate with each other as human beings, especially for us who don't have a lot of money. And that was like going back to the first reason it's cheap right now. If you don't have a lot of money and you want to get into the crypto space, this is probably where this is a project. Invest in a project that's similar to this or this because of the fact that it is cheap. You have less opportunity you're not going to lose a lot of money. And then if it does make it, there's people who are wasting thousands and thousands of dollars on these projects. They're even in the top like 50 or whatever, and then it just falls down because it's DeFi, something happened, some hack happened, or whatever else in between. So you want to have that security there. All right. Going back into what I was saying about the communication with Holochain, the members, I personally believe that they have great communication. They have definitely improved over last year, because last year in December, November, December timeframe, I was like, I don't know what these people are doing. I was getting ready to hang it up. I was like, I'm done with this. Like, you start seeing yellow flags, and I'm like, look here, 2 yellow flags for me. I mean, it's just like soccer. You got to get the red. I'm sorry. So anyway, but anyway, the point is that you got to be careful with these projects, okay? And I feel like if you do the research, if you look at what's happening, you'll be able to understand the technology, and you'll be able to make money from it, right? Because that's the whole goal of a lot of this, is to be able to make money from it. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, that's not what Holochain is about. It's about community and everything else between. Let me tell you something, people. I'm gonna tell you something right now. It's always good to create something to help others. It's even better to be able to help others and make money. Okay, so if you can help other people and make money at the same time, you're kind of winning in life. All right, so and also sometimes helping people make money can make them happier. Not all the time, because a lot of people are idiots. They get a lot of money, get these NBA stars or NFL stars or sports stars, and they get all this money, and then they end up broke, and then they're working a 9 to 5, and you're like, how did that happen? Well, because they weren't educated, and that's what happens. So in the crypto space, it's always good for you to be educated. It's always good for you to understand exactly what you're investing into. And as far as Holochain is concerned, it's one of the best projects out there. I'm not going to say it's the best project out there, because who knows what, that's the whole thing about this. This is the Wild Wild West. But for me, I'm going to bank on new technology. That's what I do. And if this is like the new Bitcoin, because it's extremely similar, because it just works on Holochain and not a blockchain, this is new technology. Governments are still trying to figure out this blockchain stuff. What's going to happen when Holochain comes out? So, anyway, that's my 2 cents, Satoshis, however you guys say it these days. I'm not really keen on all of the new lingo in the crypto space. I kind of have a more direct approach to communication, but for communication. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's one of the reasons I just want to let you guys know, let the community know, let people know exactly why I personally invested in Holochain, and why I believe that it is indeed the greatest project in the crypto space. You guys take it easy. Have a wonderful day. And I got a paper to write. Take it easy.